The air guitars out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, pay the air guitars, man. Hey, yo. When I go from place to place, it's like I check on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what can I do? Like I'm just making content, man. You know what I'm saying? And I started the process of making a podcast and trying to talk to my culture, man. Look, listen, I wanted to structure how I'm gonna post daily. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, wearing punny pitch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hopefully the bag don't fall off. You know what I'm saying? That goes in the river, man. I'm doing a it was a skinny dipping. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's that name? You know what I'm saying? My drama coach, man, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? It's been great. The launch. Cutting ribbons. Eating wedding cakes and doing a little celebration. But let me just break it down to my drama culture, right? So look, I remember I just made it. I just said in my other previous video, right? I'm pulling up to Putney Pier and having a blast. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's thinking like, what's that Brown doing, bro? What's Brown doing? You know what I'm saying? Brown's just being young and wild and a free spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my drama culture, man, out there. If you're a free spirit, man, because we live in a world where if you're a free spirit, like do a little rave, get the air guitars out, do a little shoulder, brush off that dirt off the shoulder, the haters off the shoulder. If you do that, apparently, you know what I'm saying, like, hey man, we gotta start, connecting to our true essence, man. That's what I'm trying to invite my trauma culture, man. Look, listen, I just want to be able to talk to you about something, and I think it's going to be part of my podcast series. And I just felt like, let me just do it out here to help my trauma culture, especially this will, intertwine or connect itself with the mental health series. But I just want to specifically make this for my podcast number 2, and just to talk about something that's important. Just hear me out, right? Let's go. Hey, man. Man, before that, man, let's cast and stars against, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so look, listen, so this podcast, I just want to talk about, why, it's all about, people, got a problem with you, people trying to fuck with you, not that way, you know what I'm saying? Not that way, bro. Why do people fuck with you when you're trying to do your stuff? Like, and it's, look at, belief system, innit? You know what I'm saying? I just want to talk about, belief system, the conscious, the subconscious, and, brain, the Einstein, you know what I'm saying? Half the people thinking. But let me just talk to you about this. So, hey, look, listen, let me break it down to you. So, how I want to approach this is, let me tell you something. Hey, yo, think of a pink elephant, you know what I'm saying? Now, as much as, I'm telling you, think of a pink elephant, and now think of a pink elephant, right? Okay. Now, don't think of a pink elephant, you know what I'm saying? Now, the issue is, when I say don't think of a pink elephant, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm still thinking of a pink elephant. I can't believe it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Let me just break it down to you, right? So this video is specifically about, belief systems, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go into the full detail of what this is, but I'm just going to give you a little take, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, people have to attend my future seminar, which is the Way of Truth Talk, you know what I'm saying? TWOTT, you know what I'm saying? To, really discuss about, your belief system, your unconscious, subconscious, and how to navigate through life and, have a blast while, you have these, people that probably from your past, or people from your life, or people from your culture, especially if you're coming from a closed-off culture, or, your location where you live, right, have something against you, trying to live up to who you can be to you, I'm saying, because the man or the woman that has to face the mirror in the morning, right, it's going to be you, right? So let me just break it down to you about, belief systems, right, and how, belief paradigms have a big impact to play with, your just your biology, jobs. I'm talking about chemistry, biology, physics, nanobiology, man. Biomed, I'm saying, fucking Einstein bullshit, motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm saying. And let me just break it down. Hear me out, right? So what is a belief? I'm saying. I mean, it's quite obvious. I just want to ask you, but I'm not going to go into the details and give you the dictionary term of what is a belief. Okay, I'll give you an example, right? Let me ask a couple of questions for you to, start figuring out before I say it, right? What do you believe about you? What do you believe about, the world? So first is, what do you believe about yourself? That's what I'm saying. What's your belief about yourself? who do you see yourself? I'm saying. Number two is, what do you believe about the world? What do you believe about your life? That's what I'm saying. Okay? I'm gonna ask you again, right? Which is, what do you believe about you? What do you believe about the world? What do you believe about your life? Just, take some time to think, and I will just go back and forth and come back and see what's up. But what do you believe about yourself? Just tell me, that's what I'm saying. Let's get it. I think I gave some time into my trauma culture understanding the question, what I'm saying. I asked you the question, which is, what you believe about yourself? What you believe about the world? What you believe about your life? What I'm saying. Now, I'm gonna, take you through a step just to understand what I am trying to get at you, what I'm saying, because I think it's important, man. I think it's important. I mean, especially like, imagine a Karate Kid, like, the movie Karate Kid, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. Do you know what I'm saying? And imagine if Karate Kid couldn't do that little move at the end, right? The movie, do you know what I'm saying? Where would he be? Do you know what I'm saying? He probably will be like, a drunkard, like, probably, sleeping on the corner there, do you know, probably sniffing on some crack, do you know what I'm saying? Hitting the pipe, do you know what I'm saying? Hey, let me just break it down to you, man. So the reason why I asked, what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about the world? What do you believe about the, your life, do you know what I'm saying? Is because what the question I've asked, and if you have said something like, hey, you know what, I believe I'm, a lovable person. I believe I'm this, I believe I'm that, and I believe the world is great. I believe the world has opportunity, the world is abundant. Or if I ask you, what do you believe about your life? You're like, my life is good, man. It's great. It's not been too good, but it's been good. I'm saying, oh, great. Now, the issue is, the reason why I ask you this is because if you're already starting off, when I ask this question, coming off with a negative, self-talk, you already have lost the plot. I'm saying you already lost the game of what the question was intended to ask. So, hear me out. It's to do with what you believe about yourself, because what you believe about yourself will ultimately represent out there in the outside world. Because everything is predicated on self-belief, or belief about what you believe in. I'm saying, I mean, look, listen, everybody has a right to believe what they want to believe, because we live in a democratic country that has democracy, and also people of many cultures and people of many with many individuality, do you know what I'm saying? So, the reason why I'm asking this question, because regardless of what I have told you, the reason why I ask about belief, because belief in itself has a lot of meaning, you know what I'm saying? Look, listen, you could actually believe that, the world is dying, and I could believe the world is, prospering, you know what I'm saying? But why does these matter, do you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna break it down. It's a short video. I don't want to give too much of the nuggets away, but it's just a conversation piece to start the conversation about belief and how that affects your biology and how that affects your ultimate self, do you know what I'm saying? And that's what the Browns brand is about. It's about really questioning where you are and where you can be, with a little shift in how you see the world. The reason why I asked you, and it's because what you attach your belief to about yourself, your world, your inner world. Like I'm talking about here up at the external as well, right? But also your outside world, but also the belief about your life has a direct correlation with how the experiences that you're gonna have with your life. So I'm saying, I mean, look, listen, if you're a person who always feels that the world is unfair and the world is there's a lack mentality, you know what I'm saying? I always come back to this lack and prosperous mentality, right? Prosperous mentality, abundance mentality is when you believe there is abundance out there and you're going to get your piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? Lack mentality is when people start questioning the lack in their life, and they, even if they are broke or they come they have some situations, circumstances in their life, right? They come from a lack mentality where they feel like their life is over and they have to hate, blame and complain. Someone who's successful, you know what I'm saying? So look, listen, I want to just invite my trauma culture with why that type of belief pattern, runs through our mind, it is always to do with trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to, take this back into the mental health videos, or the series, which is from Brown Boy the Cure, right? It's to really question the trauma, because some people go through life and there's always these traumas that happen. I'm saying, especially like if you chat to someone who actually had a abusive childhood. I'm saying, and the person now sits in a room with his family or goes into a place and he's always shaking, because that's the trauma, speaking to himself. I'm saying, so just hear me about what I'm trying to, invite my trauma culture, because I don't want to give too much of what I do know, but I just want to be able to, go in depth in another video, probably like somewhere where I'm sitting down and be able to talk to you, but to talk to you about, belief, your beliefs, and also what you believe about the world, and what you believe about your life. But how is that important to self-limiting beliefs? I'm saying, because I think the one thing that people look at me and they be like, how is he still here? You know what I'm saying? After all this madness called life, and they see my socials, because you gotta understand something about self-limiting beliefs. So let me just talk to you about self-limiting belief, right? Self-limiting beliefs are beliefs that are not empowering. It's disempowering. You know what I'm saying? So look, listen, if you wake up to believe that the world is fucked up, and it's quite fucked up, and I gotta be honest with you, but if you believe everything that you touch is going to be fucked up, everything that you do with your life is going to be fucked up, right? There is no place for you to actually progress. I'm saying, I mean, a lot of people have potential, but you know what's the worst thing in life is wasted potential. I'm saying, do you want to ask something?
Oh, no.
No, that's right. Yeah. The worst thing in life is, wasted potential. So what I'm trying to tell you about trauma culture is to understand that, there are, empowering beliefs and there are disempowering beliefs. I'm saying, I mean, look, when it comes to self-limiting beliefs, right, it's belief that's probably built up by yourself. So example, you could see we got, this place here, we got some, good-looking females running back and forth, doing a little running man, so I'm saying, running back and forth, and, good-looking females, regardless of countries, regardless of colour, I'm saying, and you could be a man out there trying to go approach a good-looking female, but the thing is, anytime you try to do that, something inside your head is going, you can't do that, bro. You're not man enough, bro. The angel and the devil, but the devil's going, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? I'm saying, and the reason why is because of self-limiting beliefs. I'm saying, I mean, especially if you are abandoned person, but you can't approach people, it's because of your belief about people. Which I'm saying, self-limiting belief does come from many. There are many factors that comes to place when it comes to self-limiting beliefs, and the first one is possibly especially if you're I'm from Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia. There's some cultural barriers where your elders or your people from your culture is probably telling you, you know what, man, you ain't doing this, man. You ain't getting air guitars out, man. You ain't going to be a world famous celebrity, man. It's because people from your culture, or people from your town, people from wherever you're from, right, want to project their self-limiting belief onto you. Example, you could actually try go out there and date this good-looking female, but then people out there in your community don't want that for you, because they can't handle a good-looking pretty young thing. You know what I'm saying? To say that you're trying to date, and people like your friends group or someone that always gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? The reason why is because self-limiting belief comes from the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the people that's anywhere around your community, your area, or here around. You know what I'm saying? And what you gotta do is really question and understand. Hey man, look, listen, I'm just gonna do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the motto for Brown is do whatever the fuck you wanna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, so hey, let me just break it down to you, man. Self-limiting belief. It's gonna be quick. I'm gonna make another video another time. Self-limiting belief comes from your cultural settings, your where you are, where you're situated, the people they associate with, the people that's there. You know what I'm saying? And they have these beliefs that this is what they can do, and they will try to project that onto you. A lot of time, we're living in a society where people will try to project their bullshito onto you, especially if you're a capable person. How I know about that? Because I've been in an experiment of people who tried to come up and tell Brown what he can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? So hey, look, listen, some limiting belief is your culture, or it's your cultural barriers, cultural clash, it's environment, surroundings, and also it's you know, places, you know, your work, wherever. You know what I'm saying? It's even yourself. A lot of time, you know, the biggest you know, villain in your own story is going to be yourself, and what you deem as possible and what you don't, what you deem as possible and what you think is possible for you to say. So hey, let me just break it down to you, right? Hey, quickly, is that self-limiting belief is dead. So I'm saying now we're going to look at, you know, just quickly the empowering beliefs, because I think I wanted to be able to talk to my trauma culture about empowering belief. Empowering beliefs are very it's on the different end of the spectrum compared to self-limiting beliefs, and it's all to do with, you know, empowering oneself. So I'm saying, I mean, the Browns you know, brand is called to know thyself is to have wisdom. Do you know what I'm saying? I think, you know, empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs and self-limiting beliefs and, you know, paradigms is important, because if you're trying to maneuver through life and you're trying to go out there and have some new experiences and people are trying to hold you back, how the fuck are you gonna, you know, go out there to live your life? So I'm saying sometimes you just gotta be able to, you know, really question what people believe and what people try to project onto you versus, like, you know, who you watch. I'm saying, I mean, look, listen, everybody that's out here, right, like, you know, standing, you know, out there is an individual. So I'm saying, and there are people that's way older than me, and people are younger than me, and people that's probably younger than older than you. I'm saying, I mean, many cultures, blah blah blah. I'm saying, so everybody has their cultural belief, everybody has their societal construct of belief when it comes to the social setting, when it comes to their cultures. All right, so what I'll tell you is, like, man, it's always gonna be, you know, it's gonna be always your, what's the word for it? It's going to be always your role to really question how you're going to go with this. I'm saying, are you going to let somebody else tell you about yourself, the world, you know, your life, or are you going to go out there and, you know, paint a canvas, you know, a masterpiece about what you want? I'm saying, look, people's always going to project, you know, they don't project who they are to you. I'm saying, based on their values and based on their, you know, belief about the world. I'm saying, but what I'm trying to invite you is that when I first asked the question, you know, you know, who are you? Then I ask you, what do you think about the world? What do you think about your life, right? And if you come up from a negative, you know, representation of what that question was, right, you got to change up your belief, man. And I'm going to start a podcast to talk about, you know, this in details, but it's going to be just a video in it, just to open up to invite my trauma culture, man. You know, it's all right to get the guitars out, man. It's all right to, you know, do what you got to do, man. It's all right to go out there and just live your life, man. But you got to start, you know, question what's holding you back, what's your self-limiting belief, and what you got to do to be able to change that and be able to, you know, step on a new paradigm and be able to get out there and be fucking, you know, awesome. I'm saying, I mean, I'm saying, hey, so that's that. So I'm trying to invite my trauma culture is to really, you know, understand about empowering beliefs and, you know, really understand what's holding you back in what you're trying to do. I'm saying, maybe it's just you. I'm saying, maybe it's just a couple of people, and if it's a couple of people, cut them the fuck out. I'm saying, get it going on. I'm saying, but this is just an intro into you know, self-limiting belief system, and you got to really start questioning anything that you're doing right now. Start questioning, am I believing this, or is it just a trauma? Am I believing this, or is it just someone else telling me this? Is this empowering me, or is it not empowering me? I'm saying, and you got to just be able to, you know, see the beauty in asking those questions with everything that you do, because once you do that, man, you can see a shift in, once you do that, you can really see a shift in. I wanted to make this video, like, you know, as educational. Nah, man, we're just having some fun in it. I just wanted to share what I'm saying, you know, but I do like to get the air guitars out, you know, the Irish bit, I'm saying, you know, Cortons dance, I'm saying, you know, my trauma culture, man. You know, that's what I got to tell you, Dad. And hey, man, really question, you know, the belief. I'm saying, it's just an intro into the podcast, and I will, you know, start the process of, you know, adding more content for Jacob Brown's, you know, Brown Boy podcast. I think this will be the third or the second podcast. I'm saying, so, hey, peace of love, and get it going on, man. Just saying, the world is out there, man, waiting for you. Just saying, hey, peace of love. Cool, let's get it.